Do you need travel insurance for your next trip to some place like India or another far-flung country? Well, I'll talk about that in this video, and I'll also tell you the one time you definitely do not need travel insurance. When I was planning my first trip to India, I was pretty broke, I was really in debt, and each expense on my travel budget I was seriously considering. So I was asking myself, do I really need travel insurance, or can I risk it? Can I wing it and nothing's gonna happen? As I was going through that thought process, I did a lot of research about what situations do you need travel insurance, when don't you need travel insurance, how much is it gonna cost, how could I save money on it? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you what I learned. You don't need travel insurance if you're taking a domestic trip and you don't have many prepaid expenses. You'd also want to be sure that you have primary health insurance. But for most people, you want to get travel insurance. You should add that to your budget as you're planning your expenses. In the same way you're going to have your flight, your hotel, your visa, travel insurance should be on that list. Now, the real question is, how much travel insurance do you need? So, do you get the most basic travel insurance package, or do you get the most comprehensive travel insurance package? Value Penguin found that the average basic travel insurance package costs around $100 a month. They also found that the average, most comprehensive, the best, the biggest travel insurance package costs about $164. So what we're really talking about is, can you save $64 a month, which you could use for such items such as the best travel shirt made out of merino wool for men, or 3 Chia pets in the shape of a gremlin, and still be covered for everything you need. Now in this video, I'm going to share 2 companies with you that you can get good travel insurance for less than $100 a month. But first, let's go through this process to decide how much travel insurance you need. So the first question is, what type of insurance do you currently have? You may be able to use that insurance while you're traveling. For instance, health insurance. Now in the US, your primary health insurance does not cover you as soon as you leave the US. So in that instance, getting travel insurance would be helpful and necessary. Maybe you live in a country or have a policy that's more comprehensive. In that case, you may be able to skip out on medical coverage overseas. So take a look at your policy and see if it covers you in your travel destination. Also check out your homeowners or rental insurance. They will often have coverage for your possessions even while you are traveling. So I had a renter's insurance policy that I think I paid like $10 a month for, but it covered me up to $10,000 of my possessions. This could save me a lot of money in gear protection. If I had a MacBook, if I had jewelry, if I had a camera, I could be covered by this $10 policy already. Now you do want to read that for exclusions, because oftentimes they may exclude high-risk items like my MacBook or my nice camera, my diamond earrings. Also take a look at your credit card. Many have travel insurance. If you go to chinomad.com right now, you can find 13 popular credit cards with the travel insurance benefits that are included. So for instance, let's say you're with Delta Sky Miles Gold American Express card. You could get up to $3.5 million in medical evaluation and treatment coverage already. So this could save you a lot of money on travel insurance. One thing that's important to make clear, when we talk about travel insurance, we're often talking about a package with specific types of coverage. So it's very important that you understand what specific types of coverage you're getting and paying for, because if you want to save money, you may not need certain types of coverage. So let's go through the list. Baggage delay is one type. If your bags are delayed while you're traveling, you could get paid every single day until they're returned to you. Lost luggage. If your luggage is lost, you could be reimbursed for all your items. Emergency medical, the most important travel insurance in my opinion, and if you're in your travel destination and you break your leg, those medical expenses can be covered. Medical evacuation insurance. This is also very important travel insurance. Let's say that leg you broke gets infected and the local hospital cannot treat you, it would pay to fly you back to your home country. Now, this can cost $50,000 to $100,000. This type of coverage helps me sleep so well at night, knowing that if something terrible were to happen, I could get flown back to the US and not drain my life savings because of it. Other types of insurance are accidental death and dismembership, gear protection. So if you have cameras, computers, you're a digital nomad, you're a travel blogger, you're traveling on business, you may want to buy an extra policy just for your gear. Trip interruption insurance is another important type. If you're traveling and you need to go fly back home, this would refund you any prepaid expenses you had. And finally, trip cancellation insurance. Now, if you book your trip, all your prepaid expenses would be refunded if you met certain exclusions. So trip cancellation insurance is actually one of the most expensive types of insurance. And for certain travelers, you may be able to save money by not buying this type. I made a whole video specifically about this question, which you can check out on my channel. There's also a post on ChiaNomad.com walking you through that decision process, whether you need trip cancellation insurance or not. Basically, you want to consider how much are your prepaid expenses and are you willing to eat the loss if the small chance happens that you cancel your trip. One tip to reduce your prepaid expenses is to use a website like booking.com because you can often book your hotels without paying any money up front. So if something happens where you have to cancel your trip, you no longer have to worry about hotel fees and getting a refund for them. With trip cancellation insurance and other types of travel insurance, one of the most important things to read are the exclusions in the policy. So for instance, for some trip cancellation policies, there are so many exclusions, it would have to be a very rare case where you would get paid back anyways. Some common exclusions are pre-existing medical conditions. So for instance, if I broke my leg before I bought the policy, and then I went traveling and I re-injured the same leg while I was traveling, there's a good chance I would not be paid for any of those medical bills. Other exclusions are injuries when you were using drugs or alcohol, adventurous or dangerous activities often come coverage such as hiking, scuba diving, renting a scooter. With renting a scooter in other countries, you often need to have an international driver's license as well, which you would need to get in your home country before you leave. If your stuff was stolen due to neglect, or you left your stuff unattended, or you left your stuff in plain sight, you may be not able to make a claim. Terrorism or civil unrest, global pandemics like the coronavirus, many people are not getting covered for their trip because it's such a rare thing and everyone would be requesting money back. If there's a travel advisory that you ignored, you may not be able to make a claim. If there's a more subjective reason, like you just want to go home, or your travel partner, you're no longer getting along with them and you'd like to cancel your trip, or if you lose your job and you can no longer afford it, these are often not covered by trip cancellation insurance. So as you're considering what to get, it's important to know what specific situations you'd be covered for. All right, so now that I scared you and warned you off travel insurance, let's talk about two great companies with good prices that are easy to get a policy with, and one international health insurance for the long-term traveler. So if you want extensive coverage, especially for adventurous activities, I've been using World Nomads Travel Insurance for over 1.5 years, and I've been very happy with their service and with their coverage. I love that they cover more adventurous activities than pretty much every other company. They cover hiking, they cover scuba diving, they cover rock climbing. So since I can like to do that stuff sometimes, it's helpful to know that I'd be covered. It's also very easy to get a policy. You go to their website, you fill in where you're going, where you're from, your age, and you get a quote within minutes. You can sign up within minutes as well and pay for 6 months, pay for a month. You can also get covered while you're already traveling, which is rare for travel insurance policies. So after 6 months in India, I just go on their website and in 3 minutes, I'm covered again for another 6 months. They also have trip cancellation insurance, so if that's what you want to go for, their basic policy covers you for $2,500 and their more extensive policy covers you for $10,000. Now let's say you don't want trip cancellation insurance and you want to save as much money as possible, but get good travel insurance. I've been researching a new company that I like called Safety Wing, which I may use next. Safety Wing doesn't have trip cancellation insurance, but they have great emergency medical. They have enough coverage for medical evacuation. They allow you to pay every month, unlike World Nomads where I have to pay 6 months at a time. I could just pay every month. And the cost is almost half the price of World Nomads, which is already lower than the average cost of travel insurance. Another benefit of Safety Wing is that I would be able to be covered if I flew back to the US to visit my family. You get 30 days every 90 days where you can be covered in your home country. Now let's say you're traveling long term like I have been. Basic travel insurance like World Nomads or Safety Wing have limitations because World Nomads and Safety Wing wouldn't cover me if I needed to be flown back to the US for long-term coverage. Let's say that leg that I've been talking about got infected, I needed to be flown back. If I had World Nomads, I would be covered to fly back. But because I don't have any health insurance in the US, I wouldn't be covered there once I got back. So for that type of coverage, you need to buy international health insurance. So this is for long-term travelers, digital nomads, expats. I'm currently going to be using IMG Global Medical Insurance, and it covers me in the same way a health insurance policy would cover me in the US. You can read about it on the details on Chai Nomad. For more travel tips, check out my For more travel tips, check out my video about how to save ATM fees while you're traveling, even if you have terrible credit. And for more India travel tips, go to chainomad.com. Thank you.